Hello and welcome to Linux Lounge's Apps of the Month, the monthly show where I tell you about some free and open source apps that I've been using and absolutely loving. Today we're going to be looking at the highly polished to-do list app, Errands, the convenient file sharing program, LocalSend, the minimalist web browser, Min, and the web archival tool, aptly named Archives. All of that is coming up right now on the Linux Lounge. The first program that we're going to be talking about is Errands. This program is a simple to-do list app that integrates well with the GNOME desktop. Like any to-do list app, it lets you add tasks and check them off as you've completed them. However, this program actually has a lot more depth to it than you might think. For a start, you can set do-by dates, tag and color code tasks, and set the program to run in the background so that it can deliver reminders to you. Even better than all that is the reason why I use Errands. You can easily set it up to sync with Nextcloud, which for those of you that don't know, is an open source cloud storage service that everyone should be using. You can also use CalDAV for syncing, which means you can still use this program if you're using something like Apple's iCloud or Microsoft Exchange. Overall, Errands does nothing to reinvent the wheel, but it integrates really well with GNOME, and it has a bunch of niceties that other Linux to-do list apps are missing. So, I highly recommend it. The next program that we're going to be talking about is LocalSend. This program is basically AirDrop, but open source. Essentially, to use this app, you just open it on two devices connected to the same network, select a file, press accept on the receiving device, and then the file will send wirelessly over the network. While there are other programs that do more or less the same thing, such as KDE Connect, I think that LocalSend is that little bit better. The first reason why I think that is that LocalSend is available for pretty much everything. You can get it on Windows, macOS, iOS, Android, and of course, Linux. The next reason that I think LocalSend is the best program for its purpose is that it is extremely reliable. I've never had a file transfer fail when using LocalSend, whereas I've had KDE just refuse to work for whatever reason on a number of different occasions. Overall, I would say that LocalSend is very much my favourite kind of app. It does one thing, and it does it really well without being overly complicated or getting in your way. The next program that we're going to be talking about is Min. The idea behind Min is that it's a quirky minimalist web browser designed to get out of your way as much as possible so you can focus on the task at hand. Because of this, Min pretty much just looks like a window into whatever website you're looking at. This browser's UI is seriously minimalist and pretty much just consists of an extremely small top bar with only the most essential items. Min still has some pretty nice features though. For example, it has a built-in ads and trackers blocker, which is pretty much essential on the modern web. It also has a really unique workflow. The best way to describe it is that tabs are grouped into tasks, and you can only see the tabs from one task at any given time. I think that this is a pretty neat idea, and it should help keep you on task. I can imagine that in my particular workflow, I might have one task for researching a video and one task for wasting time on the web. This browser does have some downsides though. The main downside that'll probably bother viewers of this channel is that Min is based on Chromium, which is a terrible shame because pretty much everything seems to be based on Chromium these days. It also doesn't support any browser extensions for some reason, which you would think that it would be compatible with Chrome extensions, but no. I also suspect that this browser's emphasis on minimalism won't be to everyone's taste. Finally, I wish that this browser had some way to actually block distracting sites from within the browser, but it doesn't, and sadly you can't add that functionality because, like I said, this browser doesn't support extensions. That said though, I actually really like Min, and I appreciate that they're trying to do something unique in a browser market that is currently very oversaturated. Certainly, I'd love to see where they're at in a few releases' time, but Min isn't quite ready for me just yet, but you should still check it out because it's great. The final program that I want to talk about is Archives. Essentially, this program gives you a simple and easy way to back up web pages, which is an extremely important thing to do, since some estimates suggest that as many as 66.5% of linked sites become unavailable within a 9-year period. And that says nothing about sites that were never linked to in the first place. Thankfully though, Archives makes backing up websites extremely easy. All you need to do is navigate to the page that you want in Archives, click a single button, and Archives will grab the web page as a single file that you can store away somewhere that contains the entire web page. The only weakness with this program is that as far as I can tell, it'll only ever download a single web page rather than the whole website, which annoyingly means that you'll have to go page by page downloading absolutely everything. I'd say that if Archives was to have one extra feature, it should be some kind of system that can grab an entire website for you. If it had that, then it would be absolutely perfect. That said though, I still absolutely love Archives, and I think that everyone out there should download it and start archiving web pages. After all, link rot is a serious problem, and we all have to do our part to combat it. Ideally, at some point in the future, browsers such as Firefox should implement features similar to Archives, so a huge group of people can potentially be helping to combat link rot. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. So in conclusion, those are 4 Linux apps that I enjoy using and highly recommend. But what do you think? Do you enjoy these apps? What apps would you recommend? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.